We just hit Vermont, as you can see from the sign, and we're very concerned. Julianna's been sick, aches, fever, chills, sore throat, the whole 9 yards. We tried to get a COVID test down in Granville where we spent the night. No go. So we're just kind of plugging away and hoping for the best.
In the morning, Julianna felt worse than ever. Still, she insisted on making the trek to Rutland, where there would be a more suitable hotel to quarantine in and where we could get medical help if we needed it.
Well, how about that? All right, well, kind of a gray morning. We just hit Vermont, as you can see from the sign, and we're very concerned. Julianna's been sick, aches, fever, chills, sore throat, the whole 9 yards. We tried to get a COVID test down in Granville where we spent the night. No go. They need a reservation, they need an online survey. But we needed to get up to Rutland to try to get to a better room. So we're just kind of plugging away and hoping for the best. We've got a weekend coming up, which everything looks booked because of the color. So it's just slow going through New York and Vermont. We finally made it through New York. Slow going, and we'll see how things work out. But doing our best, and Godspeed. Okay, this rail trail's right through here somewhere. I'm not sure which. There we go. Yeah. Now we're following the Delaware and Hudson rail trail. Really bumpy. It's a rather biggish, hard-packed gravel. It's not bad. It's good and even and smooth, but the texture is very gravelly. But it's not for very long, so should not be a problem.
What was a problem is that Julianna was doing this ride while feeling as terrible as she did. At no other point on our trip did we feel so utterly helpless and vulnerable. Rutland was a relatively short distance away, but I knew this had to be absolutely brutal on her. It was a situation where we just had to grind away, do the hard work, and hope that there would be light at the end of the tunnel.
These entrances to the trail are really not good, very irritating, narrow, and pointless. So this area of Vermont was big for slate production, biggest in the world possibly. And you can still see remnants. There you got the old telegraph line, and obviously just lots of slate production. Probably this rail line was used for hauling slate, the parts unknown.
We were concentrating on how to get through the day, but in the back of our minds we were wondering, how long before I get it? How long would the two of us have to isolate? How can we manage day to day when we're not in our own home? Things like meals. Could we even find a hotel that could keep us for that long? Or for that matter, a hotel that would even have us? We would have to tackle these issues one by one as they came up.
Oh, great.
Fabulous.
Great. It's like you're having a fabulous day.
The horses are unsure what a bicycle is, but if you talk.
Yeah, I always think it's important to stop.
Yeah, and if you talk, then they get an idea.
Yeah. Hey there, how you doing?
People.
Hey, beautiful. How's it going? Gorgeous.
Oh, look at you guys. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're going across the country.
Cool.
Yeah.
Have a great ride. Stop. So on top of Julianna feeling sick, we've got a no chain. Chain broke. Can't seem to get it fixed. We've got about a, 8-mile walk to get into Rutland where there's a bike shop. They said they'd be happy to take a look, but and maybe we'll get a ride. We'll see. But problems are compounding.
So we started hoofing it to Rutland.
Pretty day for a stroll.
Julianna started out walking with me, but then realized there was no reason for her not to ride.
Hard to imagine a more beautiful setting to have to walk through. Julianna's keeping up with me. She said she wouldn't go on ahead to Rutland, which I wish she kind of would. It's awfully nice that she won't.
With no chain, I walked up the hills and then rolled down.
And I'm going 4 miles an hour, it says. I don't think that's accurate. I think it's closer to 3. This could be worse.
Hopefully it would be a simple chain replacement. But when we got to the bike shop, the owner assured me I needed a complete new drivetrain. He could replace it overnight, and I could pick it up in the morning. With few other options, I agreed.
So it's been a really interesting few days. In one way, not a lot has happened, but in another way, a lot's been happening.
After dropping off my bike at the bike repair, we managed to get to our hotel in Rutland and tried to book the room for the next several days. But when they discovered Julianna was sick, they were suddenly all booked up. Scrambling to come up with some way to get through the next 10 days of quarantine, we hatched a plan. There were plenty of affordable rooms available in the ski condos up in Killington, 15 miles and 2,100 feet up the pass. But how to get there? Being down with COVID, Julianna could not make the climb. So we picked up a rental van in town, loaded up Julianna and her bike and all of our panniers, drove to the repair shop and picked up my bike, and then drove up to Killington and dropped everything off at the condo. The next day, I returned the rental van in Rutland with my bike in the back, and then began the ride back up the pass with a light load since all the bags were up at the condo. It was a perfect plan. What could possibly go wrong?
We got a rental truck. And then this morning I returned the rental truck and started riding back up. And I figured, this won't take any time at all because I'm not taking any luggage. And I kept thinking, what am I missing? What did I forget to pack? And what I forgot to pack is a toolbox and a spare tire, a spare inner tube. And sure enough, I got a flat. And I'm about 10 miles from the condo. And I'm on this busy road with little shoulder. And it's just going to be hoofing it. I'm not going to find any bike riders up here who can help me. There's just no other way around it. I'm just going to have to take the 3 or 4 hour hike with the bike. Tough things happen in threes. Julianna getting the bid, broken chain, and then of course this is probably the third. On top of that, I'm definitely feeling chest congestion, the raw throat, fatigue. I'm going to be all right, but it's just a bitch. And it's going to be a tough day. However, it sure is beautiful here. I mean, it's gorgeous, peaking autumn, so I get to enjoy that all the way up. Funny thing is, we've got less than 200 miles to go. So if this could have held on for 5 more days, we'd be fine. Been walking for, I don't know, an hour or 2. So exhausted. So freaking fatigued right now. And I'm not even halfway. I don't even think I'm close to halfway. Somebody stopped to see if they could give me a lift up the mountain. I can't. They got a carload full of kids. I'm a freaking vector. Can't take any help right now. Perfect little storm. Trying to rest along the way. You know, there's really nowhere to rest. It's all along the side of this busy highway. You know, it's beautiful. I gotta give it that. I mean, literally, I'm in this kind of colorful paradise. The palette is just amazing. And I really wanted to hit Vermont at the peak, which we are doing. We are here at the peak, no question about it. But holy cow, I mean, my whole body just feels kind of destroyed, and I know I got the COVID, so I did. Finally getting to the top of this pass, whatever they call it. I don't even know if they have passes here, but it's definitely the high point. But as you can maybe see, it's downhill for a while. And let's see if that makes a difference. I hope it does. Because, man, I'm so fatigued. It's amazing how tired this has made me. And I can only guess that it has to do with this COVID, because I'm about like ready to black out. I'm so tired. Well, luck has changed. Sun's out. Got some blue sky. Beautiful colors. And maybe most importantly, I found a bike shop at the Killington turnoff, and they were able to fix my flat. So, just a few more miles up this road to get to our condo and back up to Julianna, who is hopefully resting.
This is a place in Killington. All its glory. Cute little condo. And then this is our view. Hello, Vermont. Wow. It's just leaves are on fire. So beautiful. The camera doesn't even capture how pretty it is. We're right next to a ski resort.
As we began to feel better, we started getting out of the condo to get fresh air and to work our bodies and to try to get some blood moving so that once we recovered, we would still have the strength to finish our ride. But even walking only a mile left us out of breath and needing rest. It was clear that we had our work cut out for us. Damn you, COVID. Toward the end of our quarantine, we finally felt like we had the strength to try a practice run.
It's our first time for both of us being on the bikes since we got the bad news, since we realized what was up.
Got the Rona.
And so we're just testing it out. Got some groceries. Now I got a super steep climb to get back up here, but we've got another day of more or less isolation, and then we're taking off and getting our feet wet a little bit.
Yeah, it's our 10th day of quarantine, and we're feeling pretty good. It didn't really get us too bad, more just fatigue, you know, a few days of achiness, fever, but I think we're going to be all right. You know, I think we fought it off pretty well.
All right, 2 hands on the wheel. It's a tough climb from here on out. God, it's beautiful here. Coming back up the mountain. It's a really steep climb up to the top, and it's raining and it's pretty cold. Makes me wonder if it was such a good idea. Still trying to recover from the disease. Overall, I don't feel too bad. I feel like I could ride. I feel like I could ride out of here. Greetings from Killington, Vermont. We've been holed up here for, it's been over a week, right? And holed up for a couple of days before that at a hotel in Rutland. Almost at the end of our trip, we came down with COVID. Julianna first started feeling it back in Lake George, and we didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Stopped for lunch and had a little lunch, and then I had this wave of extreme exhaustion. I could barely get on my bike, and I just laid down in the grass for a little bit, and I think I took like a micro nap, and then we continued on, and by the time we got to the next hotel, I was achy. I felt like I had a fever. went to bed and had a horrible night's sleep and just knew something was wrong. I usually don't get sick at all. And
We had to get someplace where there was services or food or anything. We still were hoping that it wasn't the COVID. Julianna had a ride. We had a ride like 35 miles or something like that to get to Rutland.
achy with a fever.
Achy with a fever. Through a beautiful rail trail. It was a really nice ride in a lot of ways, but it was miserable for Julianna. And then about 7 miles outside of Rutland, I broke a chain. So we had to walk or roll our bikes. Basically, Julianna could ride. And so she just kind of rode really slowly a little ahead of me. And, every time I'd come to a downhill, I just rolled down. And then when we get to a hill going up, I'm having to get off the bike and walk it up. And so finally we got it to a bike shop and left it there. And then we got checked into a hotel for a couple of nights. And then at that point, we knew it was COVID.
We knew. The next day before we left, there was a place to test across the street. The rapid came back positive. So we knew, immediately that we had to do the right thing and quarantine. Roland found us this condo here in Killington where we didn't have to have any contact with anyone to even check in. So we had groceries delivered. So we've been here holed up since then and just recovering together. And he's about 4 days behind me in this. We took a ride today and I felt pretty good, but it was kind of tough for him. And so I think, in a couple more days, by the time we leave, we should be.
It was just starting to peak here in Vermont. And the colors, just gorgeous. Have been stuck here while that whole process has been going on. So in a couple days, we're going down the hill and we're going to hope for the best. But I can't tell you how hard it's been to not be able to ride. Wake up in the morning and to just be stuck and not to be able to do anything after, so many weeks and months of, getting on the bike pretty much every morning, being suddenly like stuck in limbo. We were never scared for our health. We've both been vaccinated. They're, what do they call them, breakthrough cases?
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't ever really worry that, there was any danger per se, but our biggest worry was getting somebody else sick. Hopefully we didn't infect anybody.
We didn't really come in contact with anyone. That's good.
Whenever we get out of the room, we're masked up really thoroughly. And once we found out, we've been as responsible as we can. We're out here in the middle of nowhere, so to speak. No car, no way to really be safe. And, oh God, my arm's getting tired. And, so all we could do is just like hole up and get groceries delivered and try to watch TV on this crappy Wi-Fi.
Binge watching Succession.
And I can't tell you, it's like, but in a couple days we head out. We're looking at weather, but right now they're looking at solid rain. We're leaving Sunday, and then it's going to be rain every day, low 50s, if that. So not the best healing situation.
We're going to finish this trip. Come hell or high water, we've got less than 200 miles.
We definitely want to do this. We want to finish it up and dip our tires in that North Atlantic and head home. Just another adventure. The three of us.
That's right.
Herman hasn't been feeling all that great either. He's just been he's been laying around.
He's getting
He's
soft.
very listless. Yeah, he's getting soft. Don't make me laugh. Beautiful backdrop though, right? There's a Killington ski area. It's in a month. The slopes are going to be covered in snow. They'll be paying top dollar for this condo. Right now it's going cheap, but all right, well, here we go. Oh, and let's ride. And what are some of our signatures? It's Morning in America, and I don't know.
Happy trails.
Happy trails. Happy trails.